All right, we're back with former Attorney General of the United States, Alberto Gonzales. Mr. Attorney General, before we left, you were making a point. We were talking about the time frame involved here, the decisions being made at that time back after we were attacked.
Well, I was going to complete my thoughts that we provided a guidance, and it was up to the CIA to comply with that guidance. As I started hearing about some of the items in the report, I became troubled because some of those things, some of what was being referenced, appeared beyond the guidance. Yesterday, CIA Director John Brennan confirmed that there were some activities that went beyond the guidance, and that, of course, was inappropriate. And I think that's a very important point to understand.
And do you have any idea how rampant that was, or are these just exceptions that are being, focused on and blown up by the committee and now the media?
Well, perhaps. Part of the problem that I have, the difficulty that I have, is I don't know how much trust to put in the report, and that it truly is a one-sided report, a report joined only by the Democrats. And I've got some other issues of the fact that they did not interview key players in this, did not interview the head of the interrogations program for the CIA or any of the station chiefs. And I think that was a big mistake. And, when you have a one-sided report, you don't know whether information is placed out of context and not in the proper text. Right. You don't know what evidence and what facts have been omitted that actually could have been very beneficial or helpful to the agency. And so I would encourage people to look at the report with a grain of salt in terms of I don't know how reliable the report is, or I don't know how reliable all the facts are. When I hear the reports include that the enhanced techniques, were not effective, and then I see, I worked with George Tenet, and I worked with Porter Goss and Mike Hayden, and they've testified under oath that they were effective. These are honorable men, and they've testified under oath that they were effective. And so the report is basically saying that they perjured themselves. And quite frankly, until I see something a lot more convincing, a lot more definitive, I've got to stand behind the sworn testimony of the former CIA directors. And this is just one example of why I've got, I look upon the report from the Democrat intel senators, I look at it with a great deal of suspicion.
Yeah, and Dick Cheney was right to the point, as he tends to be. He said that the report, in his view, was full of crap.
Well, you're right. Vice President Cheney is not a man of minced words, and so obviously he felt that the report was not one that could be relied upon or trusted. And as I said, I've got some concerns as well, and people should just kind of stand back and. I believe it is appropriate to look at how the United States government has executed the war on terror. And I think we need an impartial, bipartisan approach in doing so. I do not believe this report does that, and that's the problem that I have with this report.
And what's worse, Mr. Attorney General, if some of these things did take place, or the whole program, which has since been discontinued by this president, and now this president has gone much further on drones, killing people without trial, without taking them in, without talking to them. There's collateral damage very often. Is that, which in your view is worse?
Well, obviously people have different views about that. It seems to me that what's more harmful to this country are the drone attacks, and that to the extent that waterboarding may hurt our standing in the world community, I think the way that the drone program is being operated does equal damage. But even more so, when you kill, a high-level operative, you lose the opportunity to gather up intelligence, and that's detrimental to our efforts.
Mr. Attorney General, have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for all you do for us, and look forward to talking to you the next time, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Alberto Gonzales, ladies and gentlemen, now Dean at Belmont University College of Law, former Attorney General of the United States, and former counsel to President George W. Bush. We're coming back with Gimme 5. Don't miss it.